Kisaan's door named their price a long time ago. They are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. They're willing to give up their lives to win. When I see the videos of them saying this on social media, it gives me chills. But it also makes me question ourselves here. We don't have to give up our lives. We just got to give up our time, our energy and effort to support the movement. Yet so many of the diaspora stop showing up. How can we sleep in our nice warm beds at night while our elders sleep on the street fighting for us? How dare we go back to our comfortable lives and forget their struggle? I think that we all need to understand something. Who we are, who you are, it's not just you. A lot of people paved the way for you to be where you are. Kisaan's paved the way for us. How can we not show up for them when they need us the most? Yeah, I'm not going to say much more because I've spoken too much in the last few sleepouts. You've heard enough from me 4 times I've spoken. So, I'm going to hand over to Hardy, who's come to our last few sleepouts. She's come down from Leicester to say a few words, if she's still willing to speak. So, can everyone give Hardy a round of applause, please?
Thank you for having me. First, it's really nice to see new faces here. This is my 3rd sleep out, and I'm so proud to be a part of this movement. And like Dalton said, we need to remember why we're here first. As the world's gone quiet, we need to remind them that the farmers' protest isn't a trend, it's a movement. At its peak, it was the biggest protest in human history, 250 million people involved. And we were a part of that movement. We can stand and say we were on the right side of history. And we will repeal the farming bills. It's a matter of time now. And in the meantime, just remember what the Kisaans have done out there. They haven't just stood and protested for their rights. They have built communities, they have educated the poor, they have schooled the poor, they have fed the poor. They've built wonderful communities in and around Delhi. And we need to remember that the Kisaan movement it's a movement. It was never a trend for us. And I know many places here were talking about the protest before it went viral. You know, we were talking about it, I'm a teacher, we were educating about it back in November in our schools. And now today, the movement is strong, but we need to remind the world, and that's why we're here today. That's why we will continue doing these sleepouts, just to remind everybody, to amplify their voices. Because often our voices, especially with the Indian media, closing down, shutting down the voices, shutting down the internet in and around India, then often our voices outside of India are going to be more powerful than theirs. So that's why we're here today. And you know what, give yourselves a big round of applause today for turning up and representing yet again on another Saturday night. And why am I here today? Well, I myself, I'm 1st generation, born to migrants in this country. If my mum didn't marry my dad, then I'd probably be born in Punjab as well. My mum was one of the last out of her family. She used to farm my nana's lands back in Punjab. She was a farmer by trade. And, you know, so it's very close, and I'm sure all of you have got stories like that somewhere. You know, we all come from India. India itself, regardless of whether you're from Punjab or not, it's agriculture at its finest. You know, it's known for its fertile land once upon a time. So yeah, that's why I'm here. It's very close to my heart, and like Darjit said, he said it very well. If you don't know where you've come from, you're never going to know where you're going. You know, it's like, you know, we're like trees, but our roots have to be fundamentally stable, and we need to know our roots. But then we can branch out and be whoever we want to be. But the other thing I want to speak to people about today is the farmers' protest isn't an Indian issue. It's everybody's issue. It's a human issue. One of my favourite philosophers of all time, Karl Marx, said, you know, the workers of the world unite. You've got nothing to lose but your chains. And that is true today. The farmers have united in a way that nobody, not even India, expected them to do that. They've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. And that's what my message is today. As human beings, against the capitalists, against corruption, Sanjay Nelson Bindrawale once said, Sikhs should never be oppressors, and they should never live under oppression. I think that message applies to humanity. No human being should ever oppress another human being, and neither should we ever live under oppression. So those messages that come from revolutionaries or philosophers today are strong. And like one of the things I'm proud of, I'm going to finish with another favourite revolutionary of mine, Che Guevara. He said, you know, if you tremble indignation at every injustice in the world, then you are a comrade of mine. So thank you all for being here. Peace and love, and we're going to have a great night. I'll continue spreading awareness of the movement. Thank you.
I think the fact that we're here on the weekend of India's independence allows us to draw some key comparisons as well, just to add to what Hardeep said. If you look back to pre-1947 and what happened then and what's happening now with the Kisaan Sleepout, India's just swapped one set of oppressors for another. They've just swapped the oppression of the British for the oppression of far-right nationalists, the oppression of the East India Company for the oppression of Reliance and Jio for Ambani and Adani. They've just swapped the oppression of the Queen and the royal family for the oppression and corruption of Modi and the BJP. That's up from me. I'm going to pass on to, we're going to do the Simran now, which we usually do. So I'll give us a second to set that up. Again, thank you all for coming. Get something to eat. Make sure you're well fed. It's going to be a long night. All right, cheers everyone.